Alright boys, what's poppin'? Your girl here. So, in today's video we're going to be doing a Wuthering video for people who play this game. So pretty much we're going to be talking about the bosses, the ecosystems, the leveling up guide, well what I think is best for leveling up, and pretty much everything regarding that manner. This is my first ever Wuthering video, so yeah. Let's enjoy the video and let's get into it. Alright, so for those who don't know, Wuthering Waves did release yesterday around like what? 7 to close to 8, and we've got the chance to explore everything in the game pretty much. So right off the bat you're gonna just pick a rover. I picked the female rover, but once you get to that point you're gonna do the story, and then there is gonna be a part where you will have to stop during the story, which I believe it's be around level 14 to continue the story. And around level 10, so your levels is based off your union levels. So your union level, let's say you're level 10, that's when you unlock the bosses. Pretty much there are bosses scattered all over the map, and they are different elements depending on which element you're going to go for. But I would say do not fight with an element that has the same element as this boss, because it has increased damage or like increased resistance against that element. So always use a different element and try to make a team for which boss you're going for, so that way you deal more damage and get more damage in quickly. Another thing that I do want to talk about is the ecosystem. The ecosystems are usually guaranteed from a boss drop most of the time, and the stats are kind of different. So there are some different stats regarding it, and there's HP, attack, defense, attack, like HP, or attack. But the main ones I usually go for is a crit damage and attack, or like, you know, just crit, anything with crit related I'll go for. The reason why is because you want as much damage as you can, and as possible as you can. Pretty much I go for high damage. Anything high damage related for I will go for. The best bosses I would say you can go for could either be like the gorilla boss, any boss you really want to go for. It doesn't really matter depending on which boss you do want to go for. Now for people who don't know how to extend, pretty much the best way to extend your levels is by doing the story and by leveling up and progressing through the story. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's pretty much it about that. The ecosystems though, they are different elements, so not all of them will be the same element. Depending on which one you use, you can use any one, it doesn't really matter, but I would say use the same element ecosystem as your character for your team. So if you have an arrow element character, for example Yang Yang, use an arrow element echo that has a good stats, because it's gonna deal more damage to a specific boss because that character is specifically arrow. Or for Spectro, for Rover, the best Spectro boss is gonna be the Moaning Axe, I believe it's called, and it's located at the bottom right of the map, the far bottom right, pretty much. And yeah, that boss is pretty much easy to fight. It is fun to fight though, but like I said, they do guarantee drops for each time you kill it, but you won't always get the stat points that you do want. Now another thing I do want to talk about is your upgrading system. Pretty much you are going to need to farm for resources for your upgrading system in order to upgrade stuff. And here is another cool thing about this: you can also get copies of your character and freaking level them up that way and increase boost damage. So yeah, another thing I do want to touch bases on is what should you be pulling. So right off the bat we already know Jian is here as a limited character for the limited banner, but me, I am not going for Jian. He's not a bad character. His weapon design is not bad. Nothing about him is bad. It's just I'd rather go for Yinlin, who can do DPS damage and support at the same time. Now I did make a mistake where I accidentally pulled on a banner that was 80 pulls. So once you load into the game and once you get that far into the game, you're gonna get the summoning system, which is their gacha system. And pretty much what you're gonna do is you're really gonna go for the 20% off banner, as you only need 8 to pull, and the pity system is only 50, so that's really good. So right off the bat, if you get the pity system and you fail it, I do believe you can just choose whichever one you want to go for. I think it works the same way. As soon as you get the 5-star, and you can just choose another one. The same thing goes for the weapon banners. Your weapon banners are usually 100% guaranteed, and you can just pick which weapon you want to go for. So I really do like that their gacha system. Another thing that I do want to relate on is your gear and your weapons. Now, the best weapons to go for right now, starting out of the game, is 4-star and 5-star. But I do not recommend you spending money just to do all that. Just pull and try to go for whatever you can get, honestly, and gamble. Because 4-star characters are already good as they are right now. You really only have one legendary, which is your Rover, and that is your only 5-star character until you unlock more. But the builds I would say you could go for, you could use Verena, as she is a spectral support, and she can heal as well. Verena, Calcharo, as he is a DPS, Electro main, I believe. So I believe Yinlin will be the second primary DPS user, because she can also deal damage for that. So yeah, I would say Verena, Rover, and probably Yang Yang, because Verena will be the healer, and you need two characters that can really do as much damage as they possibly can until they add more characters. I wouldn't really go for Yang Lang. He's good, but like I'm not really gonna go for him like that. There are other characters that aren't out yet. So I really wouldn't know. You could use Chisha, but the only issue is she cannot like parry. She can only dodge because she has guns, which is really expected for her, because you know she can't really do nothing. How's she gonna dodge? How's she gonna parry with a bullet? Pretty much, it wouldn't make no sense. Another thing I do want to touch bases on is the fact that your freaking resources in this game is not that hard to get. You pretty much can farm levels through bosses. So each boss that you do, if you consume the rewards, it will take away 60 wave pallets, or pretty much I call it vitality, and you can easily get those back by buying them with your I don't remember what they're called, but you can pretty much buy them back with the stuff that you usually get for your pools, pretty much. Now, there are different stages to some bosses. Some bosses have like 3 stages or 2 stages or even just 1. So keep in mind, and if you do have a healer, please use your healer the best way you can. As you guys can see, I am using Baiji, as she is the only 4-star healer I have currently. So be sure to use her the best way you can and when the time is right, because if you don't use her and your character's dead, there's pretty much nothing you can do. You only have that one character. Also, the parrying system in this game is fun. So there's pretty much 2 ways you can parry. So one, right when you see that like the yellow glow circle around their body, that lets you know when you can parry. You can either hit or you can either dodge, pretty much. And then their basic attacks, once they start to swing, you can pretty much just dodge that, and that is pretty much how the parrying system works in this game. It's really easy. There are different like abilities you can use. For example, as you can see, her bar is charged up. Pretty much you will click E and you can heavy attack, and which will do a lot of damage and consume the bar. So yeah, that's pretty cool to know as well. As you guys can see, I'm switching through each character to when the time is right, because you have to always switch through characters, to be honest, as there is a switch rotation. So like when there are little bars charged up down below, like the circle one, you can switch. It lets you know when to switch pretty much, and it tells you when to switch. So me, I switch usually back to the healer sometimes because I want my people to have HP, but it really depends off your playstyle. Another thing I want to talk about is your teams. I would say get teams for each element, because it's honestly going to benefit you in the long run and as well as the end game. I think that having each different teams, same ability, is pretty much going to be good. So the same elements, so Electro, Glacio, Aero, Spectro, Havoc, Fusion, whatever you want to run, always have a team with the same element. It's gonna benefit you and it's gonna just deal more damage. Now co-op is supposed to be coming. I don't know when it's available, because I believe right now it's still not available, but co-op is supposed to be coming, and I'm pretty sure you can play with a group of 3 people only, and I believe you can only use 1 character. So 1 character per person, and I don't think you need to be a healer, but just in case, if you want to run as a healer to support your team, support your friends, you can do that. That's fine. But if you know what you're doing, you don't really need a healer like that. You just really majorly need damage. But yeah. Also, there are some bosses where their echoes do not always drop on the second time you beat it. I don't know why. Some bosses did that. For example, the gorilla boss, I believe, he doesn't always drop his echo. There's the same thing for like a huge vulture boss. I will be showing all the bosses locations in the next one, probably when I do another video. But yeah, there is some tutorials that you have to do. Pretty much there is a tutorial list and it will show you what to do, of how to counter attack and everything. Now once you're a higher level, there will be stuff that you can get unlocked, such as the events. You can be able to play as Jian or Jian, and kind of see how his abilities run and what he is showcased for. And I did get to do it. He's a really great character, a really great DPS character. It's just I'm gonna skip this banner and save for the next banner. I will say you guys should use your money wisely in this game. Don't spend too much if you're going that route. For the free-to-play players that just gonna try it out, just be cautious, because you never know. There are some stuff that you will want in the game and you might probably won't have it at that time. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. If you guys do like this video, let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But hope you guys do enjoy this game. Without further ado, I'm out. Peace.